You know, it's so many things that I didn't fully understand when I first started collecting. I was just so excited to find these lifelike dolls. And it was just like, you know, all the different terms. I didn't know what OOAK meant. I didn't know what SOL meant. I didn't know what LE meant. So like limited edition, sold out limited edition. The oak mean one of a kind. I didn't know all these terms and stuff. I also didn't know like all the different emotional aspects that come with the hobby. Like, you know, I would hear people saying, I'm not, you know, I'm just not bonding with the doll. And I'm just like, it's a doll, please. Like, what do you mean you're not bonding with it? It's not real. You know, but then I got a doll and I I knew it wasn't the most realistic doll, but it was what I could afford at the time. And I got it and I thought, wow, this is interesting. This is fascinating because, of course, it was more realistic than a Walmart doll. But I knew it wasn't as realistically painted as it could be. I was excited about the fact that dolls had gotten, was able to be as realistic, but I just quite didn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is a real baby. Like it wasn't a, oh, this would fool me type, you know, sculpt. So, you know, with that being said, I, you know, I didn't realize that that's what people meant when they say I don't feel a bond, because it's like I didn't feel anything for the doll necessarily. I wasn't like in love with it. I couldn't hardly come up with a name for it or anything. So it was just like, okay, this is not, you know, as exciting as I thought it would be. Um, so, you know, that was the other thing. Then I thought, okay, well, we don't need all this extra stuff that we be buying. All these people buy all these things. And why do they keep getting all these dolls? And I don't know. Sorry, send a text. But I didn't understand like all these things. But you get so addicted. You get addicted to, you know, we want to see, we got to have every size. And then there's so many things that you say, oh, I'm not going to be buying all these clothes and doing all this stuff. And next thing you know, you're doing all these stuff and you're buying all these things that you said you wasn't going to do. And it's just, it's like, this is weird. Like, I really just came into the hobby because I wanted to buy a doll. I said, if I get 4 dolls, would be max, right? So I was going to get a boy, a girl, a big baby, small baby, you know, sleeper, awake. Like, it's like you come up with all these things, but slowly these things multiply. Because once you get one thing, you see something else and you're like, ah, oh, well, I kind of need to have this. And then, well, if I get, I would love to have this. And it just, you just keep wanting all these things. You don't need them. You just want them. And it's so weird, but I don't know. It's like, it makes it fun. You know, I never thought I'd like a baby this big, and here I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really love his size. Like, I want another big silicone baby. I was like, I don't want a big silicone baby. I remember speaking with a sculptor one time, and they were like, I kind of want to make a, you know, sculpt a big baby, but I'm trying to figure out how I would do it. And they didn't want to go too big because it was like, you know, with all the perverts and stuff like that out there, they didn't want to, you know, with the anatomically correct, it be, you know what I mean. And so I was like, I get it. He's bald. Y'all see, I'm rooting his hair in between. So, you know, but I was just like, I don't know. I don't see the purpose of a big silicone because, you know, you want to sit them up. You know, I do still feel like vinyl for my toddlers is definitely my go-to. But a baby with a good size is kind of cool. I won't lie. Okay, so we have this shirt and that shirt. I think this shirt is kind of like basic, so I'm gonna go with these pants and this shirt just to give a little bit of contrast and a little bit of color, a little bit of fun. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get the scissors, cut the tags. Wait, did I move the scissors? Oh, there they are. So, you know, and then I go straight from the opposite end of, sorry, I'm trying to cut all the tags off. I go straight from the opposite end of something so big to something so small. And you kind of, it's like, with the big babies, it's fun. Small babies, you're like, the clothes are more expensive. Finding them cute little baby clothes that look realistic, that don't look like doll clothes, that actually fit nicely is always a challenge. But that also adds to the fun of having that little size baby. And it's just, I don't know, it's just weird how we just go from one extreme to the next. So I'm going to show you guys like my biggest baby and my smallest baby side by side. So so crazy. Isn't that crazy? I'm so sweet. I can't wait to, I gotta get him started. But I'm gonna get him started today. I just haven't done it yet because I gotta make space. I'm in the process, almost finishing up this other baby. And once I finish that baby up, I can, you know, do the matting. And I'm gonna clear up a spot because I want to clear 2 spots. I want to start some projects, some different projects. There's just so much work in between. When I finish up projects, I like to clean, start over again. Now I'm getting fuzzies all over your hair all everywhere. So yeah, it's not detached hair. It's just, yeah, just hair just need to be brushed back. But I'm not cutting his hair. I'm leaving it long because I want him to have some length to his hair when I finish it, just to kind of decide if I want his hair, what length I want his hair, and yeah, so I can give it a nice cut because his head is so big. And once I finish rooting him, like, yeah, I'm not going back to do anything over. So once you cut it, it's not going to grow back. So you got to be happy with the length that you leave it. So I'm going to wait till he's all done. So his hair, like in his back, like the front don't seem so bad, but the back of his hair seems so long. And I plaited it up. It seems so long because, you know, I'm not cutting it. So it is challenging because I want to cut it so bad. Like, I'm used to cutting their hair. I'm used to my babies having shorter hair. I bought specific hair just for him. It's my first time actually rooting this hair with this hair too. I'm going to put him back on the root table as soon as I get done with the next few projects. I'm going to put him back on the table. Sometimes I miss the babies, and then I'm just like, I want to play with them. And so I end up taking them off the rooting table, giving them a bath, putting them on some clothes. Like, I was just like, I miss my baby. Like, he's normally the baby that I always look forward to walking into the nursery and seeing. And that's the funny thing about it, is that I never would have expected that. And then also the stigma behind the sculptor's sculpts too. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. A lot of people actually love her dolls and stuff. But I did get a little bit of slack on collecting. This baby in particular, even, I just kind of tuned it out, because at this point, you know, people like to say, oh, you shouldn't be buying this, don't support this person and that person, but then they'll go and they'll be buying from someone that's publicly said all types of stuff, and I'm just sick of it. It's like, listen, I'm just gonna do what I do. Like, I don't have time to play all these games with everybody and listen to all these politics. I mean, I have not had any issues whatsoever with this sculptor, and it's actually been quite pleasant to me. And I painted this baby, and he is a very limited edition. Of course, she did announce originally that once his edition was sold out, I think it's only like 6 or 7 of them, that she was going to do a vinyl. She may do a vinyl edition. So I already know that a vinyl edition may come out, but as far as in silicone, it's not as many. It's my first big baby that I ever painted. So I had put him on a pacifier the other day, and I like the pacifiers on him, but I just love looking at him and his little lips, and the color came out so nice. The color that I did on his lips, I don't remember how to get back to that, but not just the one color, but the way the coloring in his lips up close in person is actually very fleshy and very realistic. So I don't really like putting him on a pacifier. So that's another thing. I used to collect so many pacifiers. Oh my gosh, guys, I used to collect so many pacifiers. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. This is Tiger. He is the Azariah sculpt by Georgia Pickett. I have loved him from a blank. With my Zende, the number 2. Number 1, I loved that doll initially, and I really connected to it, and I kind of wished I hadn't sold it at first for a little bit, but then I knew I was, you know, doing it to do the second one, and that I wanted to paint the second one closer to my skin tone. So I got that one, but I didn't end up bonding with the second one until just this month. I'm just now starting to feel like I'm really falling in love with him, and I want to root him now so that he can get completely finished, and that's exciting because it shows growth on my end. Sometimes if you have a bad experience or a bad transaction, or something happens between you and the artist or the sculptor or something like that, it can affect the way you feel about the doll itself. It's like, because it's a reminder of all the different things or whatever. And but I always pray that I don't feel like you can separate the art from the person as much, but I think it depends on the circumstances. And I always pray that I am able to just enjoy the dolls that are sentimental to me, and not like let people get in my head and stuff like that. Because I remember even with the Natalie Show doll, I really loved that sculpt, and then a bunch of controversy popped off and stuff, and then I started like, oh my gosh, I had already vowed to get the doll, and then I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. But I love PJ so much, so I was able to move past that. So I feel like that's growth, and I feel like if we're not growing in life, what are we doing? Like, you should be growing in life. You should be maturing. I don't care how old you are, you're never too old to grow and mature. And also, you know, you have to be open-minded, look at things from all different perspectives and ends. And sometimes some stuff you may just still don't agree with, but I am not getting rid of my babies that I love because of community drama or whatever the case may be, or yeah. But this little boy is here to stay. He is such a sweetheart. I'm just so excited Look at him. Let me see. Let me put Zendaya next to him. Their coloring, like, it's like, their coloring is similar, I think. But I think, oh no, it's like similar, but not the same. That makes sense, see? Oh. So, undertones matter. Every time you change that undertone up, that base color is going to look different. And I don't know. But anyway, that is it. That is all. I hope you guys are having the most amazing day. And I will get back with you guys later. But thanks for watching me and Tyga. And I don't know, we're going to think of another little name for my little one. Peter, Willie, something. I don't know. I'm going to actually ask for a list of names today. Start looking at names because I want him to already have a name by the time he is fully painted. It's gonna be interesting. It's like I have these visions of how I want to paint this little one. I don't think it's gonna take me long, guys. Let's guess. How long do you think that it will take for me to paint this guy? It is the first week of June. I'm gonna say that he'll be done in 2 weeks. What do you guys say? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Set a date of when you think he will be completely painted and matted. We won't count the rooting, but completely painted and matted. And we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.